Welcome back. It's so good to see you again. And welcome in to those of you that are new to Konnee's Little Corner. That's Miss Nala. She's the star. We all know she's the one that you come to see. She's going to come over, trying to get some attention. She's not going to get any right now. She gets enough attention. She'll get a lot of attention later, right, baby girl? But I don't have anything for her today. What I have for you is a review of a vintage jewelry shop on Whatnot. Now, you all know I review as many shops as I can, but I review the kind of shops that have the products that you and I might use, or that we might need, or that we might want to gift to family. So I try to do a variety. And I know I showed a few pieces before of jewelry that I got from this shop, but this was a bigger order. This was a lot more along the lines of vintage. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the vintage jewelry show from Sunshine Gilded Finds. That's Miss Karen. Y'all know I'm a big fan of going to Sunshine Gilded Funds for her dog shows. She does her pet shows every Thursday, usually around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, about 5 p.m. Pacific Time, because she's in California. But on either Sunday night or Monday night, she does vintage jewelry. And wow, did she have a collection. So wait until you see what I got. Number one, beautifully packed. This perfect little box, instead of just using this box, was inside another box. Just saying, she keeps things safe. Bubble wrapped like crazy. Okay, shipping is so important to all of us that our items make it to us in one piece. And especially when it comes to jewelry or fragile items that have glass or crystal or things that can get crushed, and that would be the end of them. So, wow. Okay. I'm using a blade and I'm having a hard time getting through this. Karen probably has stock in packing tape. She went through a lot of it just on this. All right. I think I can get into this. She puts a nice little thank you card on the inside of this. Thank you for your continued support. Oh, she threw in a few extra baubles that I can hopefully utilize. Love to Nala. Everybody loves Miss Nala. Doesn't love Miss Nala. So I have no idea what these little baubles are that she threw in. Let me make sure this plastic bubble is empty. Another bag. A bag, in a bag, in a bag. I like that one. I just don't like trying to open them. Karen, you're making me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So. Oh, no. Why do I always drop things on the floor? So that I can check and make sure my toes are still working, right? All right. Hold on a minute. My toes might not work. They did. Okay. Why I'm laughing is because everything in the bubble wrap in the bag is also in its own little bag. Oh, you gotta love it. But you know what? This is a plus. This is why she is a 5-star shop. All right, let's start with this. Oh, a ring. She didn't have a lot of rings in my size or for the finger I wanted to wear it on. But when I saw this one, I said, I have to have this. Look at that. Look at the colors and the stones in there. Is that not beautiful? And you know, with my birthday being in March, it's not exactly an aquamarine, but it's close. And it is a perfect fit for my pinky. Perfect for my pinky. I wonder if it'll fit on another finger. It does. It fits on my ring finger too. I'm really happy with that. I will put the prices up here on the screen that I paid for each piece because it varies, right? In her vintage jewelry show, and I'll go over this at the end of the show, but she will, at random, whenever she decides to, she will just drop the price of an item or change the price of an item. She'll negotiate with you on the price of an item. Very, very flexible. She's not rigid in her pricing. She's not married to her pricing. All right, let's see what else I got. Besides all these nice little Ziploc bags, which, Karen, I do intend to keep and use for the jewelry that I sell to my viewers. These are extremely vintage. Think of the roaring 20s when you see these. Look at those earrings. Are they not absolutely amazing? Absolutely amazing. It has one crystal missing right there, but I do have extra crystals this size that I can add to it. Look at those. Chandelier type earrings, absolutely beautiful. You can tell how vintage they are by the way the backs are made. I do not believe these are sterling, but let me check. Oh, they might be. Nope, they're stainless. Can you see that magnet pulls the bottom piece in? That tells me that it's stainless and not sterling. But they're still absolutely gorgeous. Look at those. Beautiful, right? Now, some of these I am going to refurbish. Obviously, all of these have to be cleaned up and polished. I like to put my touches on them, replace any missing stones, perhaps replace the posts or the backing on these, depending on the condition that they're in. So I do like to refurbish my pieces. Those I'm not sure if I'm going to sell or if I'm going to keep for me. You'll have to let me know. You'll put a comment down. We'll call those earrings number 1. Keep them or sell them. Because by the time I get done with them, they're going to be even more sparkly. All right, pair number 2. I might keep these. I just absolutely love these. Look at these earrings. Look at those. Are they not absolutely beautiful? And no missing crystals whatsoever. There's a little bit of wear on the blue in the center. The center stone has scratches, but it's my intent to take that stone out and put a different cabochon in there. Now, I may put a beautiful crystal in there. I may put a half pearl or a pink pearl. Let me know what color you would put in the center of that. I'm even thinking maybe something like an emerald. Or a round sapphire type stone if I could find it. But these are a good size, but look at that bling. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? And look what I paid for them. Now, another thing that she does is she prorates her shipping. So the shipping on this item was something like 48 cents because she does it by weight. She sets the weight when she runs the items. So you're not paying $9.21 up front. And in her jewelry shows, in her vintage jewelry show, she typically reduces her overall shipping. This particular show, her max shipping was $7.77, which had me thinking of the old TV show, 77 Sunset Strip. Only those of you in my generation would know that show, because I don't even think there's any reruns. Okay. These are a pair of clip-ons. And I'm going to show you exactly what these look like, because I thought these would be fun to work on. Look at those. They're just stainless steel clip-ons. And I was thinking that I would change these to posts and then put a gemstone or something in the center of them and give them a little extra bling, or very possibly hang something off the center, a gemstone hanging down off the center of these to dress them up even more. What do you think? Leave a comment. I love your input, but I also love the way these are done. Not super big for a clip-on, right? They'll stand out, but if there's a little something dangling on the bottom of them, they'll stand out even more. So help me decide. Keep them as clip-ons, add to them, change them into posts. I can also change these into hooks, into French hooks. What options do you see for these? For the price, you can't go wrong. All right, let's take a look at the next thing. These are very funky, fun and funky, guys. These are actually screwbacks. And I know if you're in my generation, you're familiar with screwbacks. Or if you're of a younger generation, your grandma or your mom might have had screwbacks. They have the plain silver tops, which of course I would love to put a flat back gemstone or pearl on that base. And then they have this three-dimensional look. Let me turn it sideways. Look at that. It's totally three-dimensional. And it has this little thing sticking up right there that I could actually pop pearl over it or some other stone on it. But look at those. These are so fun and funky looking, not super big. Let me take off the one earring. I don't mind being with just one earring for now. There you go. Not super big, barely come down to the jawline. And that's how most people will wear their earrings. No longer than what the jaw is. If you put your finger across your jaw and to the bottom of the earring, for most people, that's the maximum size earring you should wear. Unless, like me, you have a longer neck, you can wear the longer ones, or you just like the longer ones. So these are going to be fun to work with. Look at those. Look at that. Amazing, right? Amazing prices. This is also going to show you as I progress, this is also going to show you some more of the variety that she has in her vintage, because her vintage is everything from the 1800s all the way up to maybe the 1960s, the 1970s. So this is a pair of lever backs. These are lever backs, which I definitely will change. Hold on. Get all twisted around. And I know it'll lose a stone on the top when I do that, but I'm okay with that. These are lever backs. Look at these crystals. Look at that. No crystals missing from here. They need a good cleaning. They need to be taken care of, tightened up a little bit. Some of them are loose. Nice length. See if I can do it this way. Not too long from where it would dangle beneath the ear. Again, just a little bit below the chin line, almost exactly at the chin line. But they're very, very stand out. So these are going to get a good cleaning and polishing. They're going to get a good refurbishing. I am going to change the top and put it onto something fresh and probably, well, the backing, we'll see how the back comes out. But as you can see, the back is a bit tarnished. That's from age. And I don't know if this is, what material this is. Let me break out my magnet. That's stainless because it does suck into the magnet. So that will clean up and it should be nice shiny silver by the time I get done with it. So in that case, I will put a bright silver piece on the top of that and maybe even add a little something else in. There's another big spot right there that I could put another crystal in or a different colored crystal so that this one is swinging down here on the bottom, but I could have one in the middle as well. So we'll see what we can do with those. But again, the price, it can be very, very hard to say no to things that Karen has. And she gets to know the styles that her shoppers are looking for. All right. I love these. Absolutely love them. To me, this is warm and cozy. This speaks to old-fashioned, Victorian, older than grandma, great-grandma. Look at these. Is that not beautiful? Look close at those. Look at those roses in there with the black edging. There is absolutely nothing I'm going to do to these other than change what's up here. I might put a black crystal on them instead of a black plastic bead. I'm not sure. Even the ear hooks, the French hooks are black. These I just absolutely fell in love with exactly as they are. They do need a little maintenance. Got to clean up and tidy up the back a little bit, but they're pretty basic. If you like a darker earring, not really long, about there, but absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Stop wiggling. Look at those. Especially if you have short hair, these are going to be absolutely gorgeous. And you can't beat the price. You liking what you see yet? Oh, there's more. Trust me, there's more. Oh, I see what she threw in as a thank you. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'll show you that after I show you what I actually bought. These are the ones that I paid for. Okay. These are fun and funky. And guys, these are for me. Am I going to change them? Probably just the French hooks. Look at those. Look at those. I'll adjust the bells, because obviously the bells are a little cockeyed on there. The bells are these things that go around the gemstones. So they've got the light faded coral peachy color, and then the glittery orange beads. They do have the divider. Whoops. There's a stone missing from there, but as you have seen, I have these items. So I will disassemble this and I will replace that divider to make sure there's one in there, that spacer. And then these bottom crystals. I absolutely just love these. These are awesome. See if I can do that one-handed. Yes! That's a almost a duster earring. As you can see, it still wiggles a little bit. So it's almost a duster. But I'm going to brighten these up a little bit. I'm going to replace the spacers. I may add another spacer up here on the top. I'm not sure, but look at those. Very fun, very funky. These are definitely very 60s vibe. 50s and 60s vibe. I love the crystal on that orange. Right? It's a steal. So you've seen rhinestones and silver tones and black and three-dimensional screwbacks, clip-ons. There's more. Wait. These are fun. You may see some of these. You'll definitely see these in my next jewelry show. Because there was one of you that I thought of when I saw these, and I'm like, I have to get these, work on them a little bit, but these are fun and funky. These are just black crystals. No wear on these whatsoever. They need a little bit of a cleaning up, a little bit of a polishing, and that triangle in the middle or at the top, to me, that's just screaming for a stone. It says, bling me up, do something more with me. So I will. But look at those. These are, again, not super big. Okay, so now I can't get this one in with one hand like I did the other one. Oh, okay, I got it. I just didn't know I had it. Not super big, very lightweight. I don't feel them at all. Very, very lightweight. They're very nice if you have medium length hair. They do not touch my shoulder. Here's my shoulder. You can see you've got good amount of space, so they're not going to bump against your shoulder. They're exactly the same length as my little Volkswagens that I'm wearing, and they're not heavy. So these are going to be a great addition once I get them cleaned up. Let me know. What do you think about me adding some sort of maybe a square crystal stone in there or someplace else just to give it that little extra bling? Because you know me, the bigger, go big or go home. More bling, more bling. All right. And this was a one of. She has a lot of odd pieces that don't have mates. And those are the things I like to look at to make either brooches or pendants, pins, that type of thing out of. This was a clip-on. Its mate is missing, but I absolutely fell in love with the antique nature. What are you barking at? Oh, it's okay. It's the groundsman. The antique nature of this stone. And as you can see my finger behind it. All right, there you go. Can you see that it actually is an open weave, and then it has the acrylics in it. It doesn't actually have stone. It has acrylics in there. But I'm thinking in the center, because there is a bit of a dip, I'm going to put a stone in the center of that, something that will complement this metal, maybe an amber colored stone or a tiger eye type stone. And I'm going to take off the clip on the back, and I'm going to either turn this into, very possibly, I was thinking a combo, that I would put a tie tack type thing in the center so it could be worn as a brooch. And then up on the upper part back here, I can put a loop so that it can also be worn as a pendant. So it'll be a 2-option type of piece. Absolutely love that. I've been watching that for a couple of weeks, and it was sitting there and it was sitting there, and I finally found out from her that it's because it was a single item. It was missing its mate. Well, now it's going to have a new life. I'm going to put my little spin on it. All right, let me put my earring back in, and then I'll show you the extra goodies that she included for me, and we'll give a rating, which we didn't do before, on her jewelry show. Oh, again, Karen, I'm telling you, with the tape girl, it's bags on bags on bags. I won't ever run out of bags as long as I keep shopping with Karen. I put all these little bags into this bigger bag. Okay, yeah, I know. I'm a bag lady. What can I say? Hold on. I need a sip. That almost went down the wrong way. Are you having a good week so far? Oh, look what she added. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay. She added in another one of. That is going to make an adorable pendant. I think it'll make an absolutely adorable lightweight pendant. That's the first thing I see for that. It's already got the nice hoop on the top. I just have to put a jump ring on it, clean it up. I might even add a few little things to dangle off the bottom down here to enhance it even more. Thank you, Karen. I love it. See, this is what she does. When you shop with her, she'll throw these little extra things in there as a thank you. And she knows the style. All right, this one, let me take a look at this. This one I will harvest. This is a pin. This was a straight pin, all right, with a C-clamp, a C-hook. This is a little flower, but as you can see, the petals have some wear. The finish is peeling off of the petals. Not a lot, just a little bit. And it does have the amber gem in the middle. Oh, my brain just went to, oh my Lord. That amber gem is the right size for that. That's a good kind of karma. So this I will harvest. I will take the pieces apart because I do not have petal pearls. I don't have a way to replace this one that has that big long stripe in there that's missing the outside coating. And I would not want to present this, the finish around this. So this is a craft piece, craft supplies. By the way, guys, she does have bags that she will sell you of miscellaneous pieces that you can harvest, stones and pearls and findings that you can completely harvest. Look at this. Boy, am I going to harvest the bejeepers out of this one. Look at that. It's got a hook on the end of it. This is meant to be a Believe It choker. It's got all these, they're all plastic, but this is so 60s. It's got another one on the other end, and it's got a hole here, and it looks to me, yep, it's a choker. It's choker length, but I will definitely harvest this. These pieces here, these make great backings for stacking other pieces on top. And these, I'm not sure what I'll do with. I could incorporate them into a bracelet or another piece or a different necklace, but yes, I can definitely harvest from this. Thank you, Karen. So that's what I got from Miss Karen. Absolutely love it. The prices were amazing. She's been around for a while. So let's rate her vintage jewelry. We already rated her dog shows, which she is borderline being a platinum seller by my standards, by the standards that I apply to these Whatnot shops and other places that I shop, not just Whatnot. But we're going to use my 5-star criteria to see how her vintage jewelry show racks up. How does it come up? The first thing that we're going to look at is the shipping speed and the packing. She ships usually the very next day after her show. Within 12 hours or less than 12 hours, I'm getting a notification that my item has been shipped. So this particular show was a Sunday night show, and it was shipped on Monday. I received this on Wednesday from California. From California. She sends everything priority mail. So it will ship even during a holiday or even on a weekend. Priority mail keeps moving. It's not like regular mail. So shipping speed and packing, each of those would be a half star. She's going to get a full star for that category. You saw the packing, right? The bag, the bubble wrap with the bag, then another bag inside, and everything individually bagged to protect them from bumping against each other, or heaven forbid, should anything come apart, it stays in its own little bag. That's putting forethought in. That's a very thoughtful process to make sure that your items get to you exactly as you see them when you buy them. So she's getting a full star for those. Communication. Karen is on top of the chat. Absolutely on top of the chat. She never misses a beat. She doesn't forget what you've asked for. If I'm in the show, which I usually am, and she doesn't have a mod for her vintage show, so I kind of act as a little moderator for her, I'll remind her that, we have a request for this or we have a request for that. Because sometimes she gets so excited about her pieces that she can get sidetracked. But it's not in a bad way. She's always finding more stuff and good stuff to show us, and she surprises us all the time. So she communicates, she responds to messages quickly, she responds to chats quickly. Her communication is very pleasant. She's fun, but she also has a very professional side and then a very silly side. So everything about her communication is great. I have sent her messages through Whatnot, private messages through Whatnot. She's been very quick to respond, so she's excellent communication. She is open to feedback and suggestions, which is a very important part of communication. Listening and learning about what your shoppers want and what they're interested in, and not just what the seller wants to do. Listening and communicating with your shoppers is going to make you a better seller. So communication, she's getting a full star for that. The price of the shipping and the price of the item. I don't know what I paid for shipping on these, but I know I did not pay $9.21 or probably even $7.77 because everything was prorated down. I think when I added up, it came to less than $4. Right? She does max shipping per show, but you'll have to check with her on each show, depending on what pieces she's doing. Her max shipping might be $7.77. It might be $9.21. It might be $5. It's never the same because she prorates and she adjusts her shipping based on what she's selling. And for the pieces, I think with this big, beautiful pair here, whoops, I can't even grab them this morning. This big, beautiful pair, I think my shipping was like 48 cents, something like that, because she did it by weight of the item. That is the fairest and most reasonable way when you're doing piece sales, when you're selling pieces like this, especially with jewelry shops. That's the best way to do it. Even if you're like a clothing shop or a pocketbook shop, like UltraAuthentic or Darla Weatherspoon One, NVUSDeals, Vintage Mom 89. A lot of these shops, they will not charge you the $9.21 up front. They'll weigh the items and charge you shipping accordingly to the weight. So if you only want to buy one item, you're not laying out the $9.21. And Miss Karen does the exact same thing in her vintage shop. You are never going to overpay for shipping, not even in her dog show, but we're reviewing her vintage shop, so we'll stick with that. So the prices of the shipping, very fair. The prices of the item, guys, seriously? You saw what I was paying for these. I put the prices on the screen. She has some real valuable name brand vintage jewelry in her bin in the shop. You have got to go look at. And yes, those are pieces or they're sets that have a value of $200-300, but yet she's only selling them for $50, $60, or maybe $100. Well under retail, well under, well, not even retail now, well under what you would pay if you went to a vintage jeweler to get these things. Their value is incredible, and her asking prices, even more so, are exceptional. If I was still working, I would have a lot of those expensive pieces because I could afford them. But yeah, you definitely got to check that out. So prices of the items and price of the shipping, she's getting both half stars, so that's another full star there. Variety and presentation. Wow. She has approximately 100 years worth of jewelry pieces. She goes way back into the 1800s. She has a lot of early 1900s, mid-century items, and not just mid-century 1900s, but mid-century 1800s. She has a lot of them. She does not fiddle with her pieces. In other words, if she looks at it, she's not happy with how it looks, she'll either put it in one of the craft bundles or she'll just set it aside and not even sell it. She's very meticulous. And she shows you when she's presenting something. She holds it up to the camera. She points out every little thing. She turns it around back and forth so that you can see everything that you're looking at. She talks to you about any call outs. She brings everything to your attention about that piece before you bid on it. And there's been times that she is not happy with the piece. She won't even let it be bid on. There was one piece, and I can't remember what it was. It's maybe in an order I have coming, that I knew it had a flaw, but I bought it anyway because I said, you know what? I can replace what's missing. I have the gemstones. I have the crystals. I have the cabochons that I can either replace or repair piece. So she might have not been happy with it, but I was thrilled. Just like this one piece that has the missing stone in it. I was not worried that there was a stone missing here because I knew that I could replace that stone. I have the exact size crystal that I need to put in there, and you'll never even notice it. But she wasn't going to sell them. I convinced her otherwise. So her presentation is excellent. Her variety, you've seen just from what I got here, massive variety. But it's not just earrings. She has earrings, brooches, bracelets, necklaces, sets. All right. She has screwbacks, clip-ons, all different types of backings on her earrings. And she has a variety of with gemstones, without gemstones, sterling silver, stainless steel, a little bit of everything. She has 18 karat gold plated, silver plated, rose gold plated. Literally, if there's something that you're looking for, she's got it. The only thing she doesn't have a lot of, what I'm not surprised because it's a little more modern, is the gunmetal black. And that is, gunmetal typically is, within its infancy. It's like within the past 25, 30 years. Not really vintage, but she has all the appropriate metals for what is vintage. She even has copper, brass. I think I don't have it here. Well, this is brass. That's brass. She has copper, she has brass, she has, I couldn't even name them all. She has them, right? So her variety and her presentation both are top notch. So she's going to get a full star for those two items, a half star each. The last thing we're going to rate her on is her attitude as a seller. As a seller, she has the right attitude. She is in tune with her shoppers. She listens. She pays attention. She gets to know the people that are in her shop. She welcomes everybody. She's cheerful and upbeat and outgoing. Her energy is contagious. And people will come in and wait patiently for what they want to see or what she has to show them. And if she had something planned, like maybe she was going to do necklaces and somebody wants to see something else, no problem. Put the necklace down, get what the other person wants to see. Any other requests? Nope. Okay. Right back to the necklaces. She is very flexible, which gives her the right attitude to be a seller. She's not locked into things, and she's also not attached to things, right? So for example, when I said, I got these and more than likely they're going to stay as mine, right? Yes, I'm attached to these. I want these for myself, but I did that as a purchaser. As a seller, when I sell my jewelry pieces that I fix or that I repair, I am not attached to those pieces. If they don't sell at one price, then I will reduce them and sell them at a different price. Karen does the same thing. She does not put any emotional attachment onto the pieces that she has in her shop. If there's something that she wanted, she's already claimed it. So know that everything that is there, she is going to be willing and able to sell to you. And if you don't like the price, you can negotiate and say, well, gee, I didn't want to pay $4 for that. Would you take $2? It doesn't hurt to ask. You can put it in the chat, or you can send her a private message and then put into the chat that, hey, I sent you a private message about an item. Could you check it, please? Right? And she will. She'll absolutely check and do that. So she's got the right attitude. She puts what you want above what she's trying to sell. She would rather meet your needs and meet your requests and not worry about what she thinks she should be showing. That's the right kind of attitude. All right. She knows that if she has older items, she's going to discount them. She has things that hasn't sold, she's going to discount them further, or she's going to give them as giveies to people like me who she knows will make something fabulous out of just this poor little lost earring. That's what she does. So does she have the right attitude? Absolutely. 100%. So Miss Karen at Sunshine Gilded Finds Vintage Jewelry Show. Can you guess how many stars she's getting? Out of the 5 possible stars, that's the max. Yep, she getting all 5 stars. Her pace is right. Her lighting is good. Her presentation is good. Her packaging is impeccable. Her displays, I love her display. All right, I got to tell you guys, this is something I do not rate on displays. unless, of course, it's part of the presentation and it's disastrous. But I got to tell you, her display looks like the top of grandma's dresser. Think of it that way. Jewelry box open, jewelry in it, spilling out of it, another tray on the top with all these different brooches and pieces displayed and different little containers spread around the back. It is so nostalgic just to walk in there and look at her display. I got an itchy nose. So I love that. I just light up when I go in and my eyes immediately go to all these pieces laying there. And I've communicated with her. I'm like, change it up. People that have been in the shop for, a lot of many times like me, we're seeing the same things here, maybe the same things there. Mix them up, swap them out, put those aside, put some different ones out. And she does. She takes suggestions and feedback. So guys, you have got to go visit Miss Karen, Sunshine Gilded Finds. Find her on Whatnot, right? Follow her and then bookmark her shows. If you have a pet, definitely bookmark her Thursday evening show. You've seen some of the things in my videos that I have gotten for Nala. Everything from toys, harnesses, leashes, collars, on occasion treats. She doesn't do, I don't know why my nose is itching today. She doesn't do a lot of treats because Karen is a advocate for animals. And when she gets things in like dog beds or treats or things like that, she donates all of it to her local shelters, to her local foster homes for animals. She doesn't keep it to sell in her show. She does not profit at all from those type of things. And she only keeps a little bit of clothing. She doesn't get much clothing, so what the little bit that she does get, she keeps. But she does mostly accessories and toys for the dogs. She's got 2 great shops going, guys. And check her out because she also sells on other online marketplaces, which I'm not going to discuss here. But if you have any questions, queries, concerns, posers, you can either put them down below in the comments or you can send me an email right here, konneeslittlecorner@gmail.com, because I am open 24/7. And are you ready to come back and watch what I might bring you next? Give me the thumbs up. Don't forget to hype this video. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, by all means, please hit that subscribe button. Be sure you hit the like, you hit the notification bell, and you hit that subscribed button because YouTube is unsubscribing people from a lot of your favorite channels, and you got to come back in to keep giving that support to your channel. Okay? Yes? Okay. She's been down on the floor. She's acting weird today. I don't know why. But she and I will be back on Sunday with Temu. And I will show you what I've been doing outside in preparation for something that I got from Temu. And yes, this is going to be an assembly required item. I don't like those. I like that they help, but I don't like them. So we'll catch you on Sunday with the Temu. In the meantime, remember, stay hydrated. Above all else, please stay sweet. If you don't like what somebody's saying, talk to the paw. I told you it fit good and I was going to wear it today. Ah, we'll be back. You coming back, right? We'll see you then. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.